Hey there, Jay Robinson, the PE Geek here, and I want to share with you a little tour through the Classroom Badge Maker application. And this is coming to you from the same team that have released iDocio and a number of other classroom applications that we've spoken about here on the blog and on the YouTube channel. And it's just a continuation of the amazing work that they are doing. So essentially, this badge maker application is designed to help you award students with badges. And those badges can be designed around anything that you desire. They could be based on particular things students do or their attitudes or literally anything you could award badges with and keep track of those badges. And in many ways, you could be gamifying your classroom experience and having a very easy system to be able to go about facilitating and distributing the badges. Now, it's been quite common for teachers to utilize badges and game mechanics, but the biggest trouble is trying to do that on leveraged or on scale so that it doesn't become this huge administrative burden. And this is what this app does really well because it just makes it much more seamless. Now, when you open it up, you'll notice that the first sort of call to action is to create your own classes. The easiest ways to do that would be to create them from Google Classroom. If you happen to have Google Classroom already set up, you're going to be able to get started really quickly by pressing that option. Otherwise, you can use an XLS file or an iDocio file. And if you tap on that, it'll give you the instructions on where to store that thing and where to be able to import it. Or you can just start with an empty class and set about typing in the name of your class and giving it a color and an icon, and go with that one, and then manually going through and creating each of your students. Now, you probably don't want to do that if you've got huge classes, but if you've only got small classes, then it isn't going to take you all that long to complete. But the import functions are also there if you choose to. Now, one really important thing I will mention is the email field. Highly beneficial if you can put in the email of students in there, even if it was just your email as well, because then you've got a whole host of communication possibilities inside the app, which we'll get to. Now, we have a sample class here so you can see how it all works. So I'm going to go into my sample class and you'll see a list of all the students. So assuming that you've created your class, you've gone into your class, you'll have a list of students here and you'll be able to see in that first column the total of the points that that student has accrued with Classroom Badge Maker or in your class. And then on the right hand side here, you'll see this column that you can sort of infinitely scroll, and in it is a list of the badges that they've received. And those badges are customizable and can be completely open to how you decide to award them or whatever it is that you choose to do so. So I'm going to create a badge and just show you how easy that is, and I'm going to award it to a student. So if I click on Tools, you'll see the option here to manage your badges. There's a whole host of other features as well. Like I said, if you have Google Classroom, then it just makes it even more powerful because the badges can be awarded and given to kids on the Google Classroom accounts. Amazing stuff. But I'm going to go into Manage Your Badges, and you'll see just right here that there is a collection of badges already. That's just in there to help you get started. You can get rid of those if you wanted to or rename them. But I'm going to make a new one. So let's go create a new badge. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to select a shape, icon, or ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick that shape. And you can see here from this list that you get a variety of different types and styles of that. For your badge, I might press that option in the top next. So by selecting this option here, you can pick the icon that you might like to add to that badge, or you can use your own photos. I'm going to place, actually that's not the best idea, but I'll change the background color to red. And for my text, I'm going to use this one. And if I go over to the next, go over to my, you can see that I can change the text to whatever I please. And this is just a name that's coming on the top of my head, but World Leader Badge, you can decide whether you put the student name in the ribbon instead of the name that you choose, or the student name in the footer. That's entirely up to you. And when you've done that, you can literally say done, and then for that badge, you can decide how many points you're going to award for someone who earns that badge. And then say done again, give it a name, World Leader. And you can now see that our World Leader Badge is now inside of the list of badges that we can award. So I'm going to say done. Now, let's say that for whatever reason we're awarding this badge, we choose to give it to Jonathan. We can tap into Jonathan's square and you can select the World Leader Badge, and you can now see he has 500 points, which is super easy. He's now obviously probably the leading scorer. But like obviously that's a very easy outcome to do. So a very easy way to distribute these badges. You're in your class, you see things happening that meet the conditions, tap in the square and award it. Now that's great, but in certain situations, maybe you need to apply the same badge to a lot of people all at once. And the simplest way to do that would be to tap into any square, so John's for example, and then tap the assign badge to other students. Let's press that again. And then you can see here that if I click all the students that match that condition, maybe at the end of class when I have seen the demonstration of these things, I can then select them and then hit done and then select the World Leader Badge. And you can now see that that badge has been applied to everyone who I selected. So that's a really easy way to distribute and give students the opportunity to accrue stuff based on whatever parameters you set. Aside from badges, maybe there's also the opportunity to just award straight points. And you can do that by just simply tapping in any square and then just saying points and giving them 20 points. So you could very easily have this badge sort of app be used to facilitate the entire aspects of your class. So you could have badges for some of the biggest milestones, and you could award points throughout the session based on particular things that you've noticed and observed. All the positive stuff gets placed in here. The greatest examples of good behavior or of knowledge being accrued or whatever it is that you choose to. It's all positive driven. Now at the end of your class or term or semester or whatever time period you choose, if you select the publish button, then you've got a few choices. So you can send the badges by email, or you can create a PDF with all badges. Now I'm going to select that, and you'll see here that it asks you, what would you like to do? I'm going to say import with iBooks, but you could send this PDF to Google Drive or any of the cloud tools you use. I'm just going to open it with iBooks so you can see what it looks like. And this here is the PDF that it produces. Every kid has their own page, and you can see the different badges that they've been awarded and when. So that's a really awesome way to sort of visualize what has actually happened and almost be like a report. It could be the end of the week where you print out those PDFs and place them somewhere, or showcase them in some way. Obviously, you don't have to print them. If you have connected to Google Classroom, then you've got these two options. So you can publish to Google Classroom just the total points, or you can publish the badges too, which would just mean that it's a even more seamless and fluid experience. A few other choices happen in the tools box, and you can go in and you can sort by points, you can do other sorts. The cool thing I like is this soundboard. So as points are awarded, you could be pressing the button and making a little bit of atmosphere around the delivery of those points. And there you go, the link to Google Classroom. So it is an incredible tool. I think it's taken something that people have wanted to do, and in many ways they've done it maybe with a offline process, and it's just made it super seamless to be able to do this with an application tied to many of the things that already happen in your classes. So that is the Classroom Badge Maker application, and you can find the links and details for this in this particular blog post, or go and search for Badge Maker on your iOS device. Speak soon.